from a shop at Baker's. Rendering lard is one of the things I'm doing today. And I wanted to show you how I do this at home. Really easy, so you can make the most of your lard or tallow. Did I say I'm rendering lard? I'm rendering tallow today. We've got beef that we've been working on, but the process for doing lard and tallow is about the same. Ideally, if you have it done at a processor, ask them to grind your fat for you, because they can do it really quick and easy, and then you could skip and go right to the rendering. If you're doing it at home and you don't want to put it through your grinder, then this is how you can do it. And I'll just tell you, I don't put tallow through my grinder because it seems to get all gummed up. Lard doesn't, tallow does. So what I'm doing with the tallow is chipping it. And I'll show you how I do this. Very easy, and tallow's so dry, it just kind of falls apart. This is a lot of work with lard, can be done. You want a large surface area. So I'm gonna chip it, which means I'm not blocking it up. I'm cutting it into these small pieces. Using a large chef knife, it's pretty easy because this knife is designed to rock. So you can just work your way right through it. Making these small chips, they've got a lot of surface area, so they're gonna render fairly fast. We had some, Mark cut them up into chunks, and maybe I'll show them to you if I get a chance. And they didn't render, not at all. Wasn't gonna happen. Even after they'd been in the pot for a really long time. Tallow is an amazing thing. It's good to cook with. It's got a high flash point, which means it'll take the heat without going rancid. Animal fats are really good for that. That's why they say don't cook with olive oil, because it doesn't take the heat. It's great in salads. Animal fats are super for cooking with. I also have made lotion salves with tallow and lard. It's a really nice combination. Your body recognizes it, so it makes for super healing salves. These pieces, the leaf lard in a pig and this fat tallow in a cow, are called the kidney fat. And this kidney was still embedded in this chunk. So I was going to show you this. You can see it's right, those are the kidneys right there. Kidneys are useful. I usually grind them up into the burger or sausage or whatever it is I'm making ground-wise. You can find recipes to eat them just like they are. Really good for you. All the organs are very, very nutrient dense. This is a bit of a job. It's a lot easier when the tallow's still warm from the animal, but there. So there's a beef kidney. It looks, if you've seen the pig ones, it looks a little different, but it's same function, same purpose, same good qualities of being nutrient dense for your health. And it's embedded in this kidney fat, leaf lard in a pig. I'm not sure if it has a special name in a cow. All right, let's go in the inner shop, and I'll show you some rendering that I've got started now. Okay, we're in the other part of the shop now, where we've got the burners, and I'll show you how I've got this going. These are my two lard pans. This one is a really big saucepan, and I'm just using that right, it's direct heat. Not ideal, I'm just using it to get it started. Once I've got these pieces glassy and there's fat in the pan, and you can see they're kind of getting there, I can start to double it. So I can add twice that much the next time. Once that's glassy, twice that much. I'm not going to leave it in here, although I could. because I've got other things I need to do and I don't want to babysit it. If your fat goes over 225, and you can play with it, it's got a little forgiveness, but if it gets too hot, it'll start to incorporate the protein back into the fat, and you end up with not so great tasting fat. But this is a really good way to start it off. And then I'm going to move it to my double boiler here. This works really good because it's not going to let it get too hot, and I don't have to babysit it to make sure. However, it takes longer to start and get it going. So that's why I'm starting it in the frying pan, and then I'll put it in the double boiler, and it can sit in the double boiler and just go all day, and I don't have to worry about it. Just check in on it now and again. So it's really easy. Once it's all rendered, and when it's all rendered, there won't be any bubbles coming up. The bubble is water releasing out of the fat pieces. All of the protein will sink to the bottom, and it'll be clear liquid in between. That's how you know that your fat is done rendering. At that point, I'll pour it through a cheesecloth. And there's a couple ways you can store it, either in the freezer, or I'll be putting it actually in hot canning jars. Put a lid on it, seal it, and then I just let it cool. And it's fine. I keep it in a dark place, cool, dark place, and it's shelf stable. It's good to go. So that's rendering lard. Not really complex. Besides a double boiler or a frying pan, crock pots work really well. I've talked to chefs who put the fat in big pans in the oven. Having a larger surface area to release the water out of is good. Stirring them so that you break, you know how water will bind together. Breaking that so that the water can continue to release will help the process be more efficient. But basically, those are the things. Having a piece with a lot of surface area, so if you don't get it ground, chip it. Don't chunk it, chip it. Having a lower heat source. You don't want it over 225, give or take. Of course, my double boiler isn't going to get that hot, which means I won't get as efficient a render. I won't get as much fat out as I possibly could. That's okay because I have a ton of fat between the pigs and the cows. So it's okay that I don't have to babysit it. Having a source of surround heat helps, so that's where the double boiler is good. Crock pot works good. Oven, surround heat. My saucepan is really, it's a heavy fry pan, so it really pulls the heat around. Woks work really good for the same reason. They really pull the heat up all the way around in the pan so the fat is completely surrounded by heat. And then strain it. And that's rendering. Really simple and easy.